Hello Year 12 and welcome to our first video here for our 10th topic. We're going to be looking at healthy hearts, but today we are looking at heart rates. Okay, now our blood moves through our circulatory system, our veins and arteries, capillaries and whatever else, by virtue of our heart beating. Now it doesn't flow at a constant rate, right? Our heart squeezes and contracts and relaxes very regularly, right? And how quickly it does that can be an indication of our health. So we might measure or observe those beats by carefully feeling up under our jaw here somewhere, or maybe on our wrist, or some sort of electronic device maybe attached to your finger. But right, we are interested today not in actually measuring those things, but in calculating our heart rate in beats per minute. How many times it beats in each minute. It's called our heart rate. Now, we can calculate this because it's a rate as the number of beats divided by the number of minutes. One very slight complication here is that we're not likely to have the number of beats and a number of minutes. We're probably going to have a number of seconds. So we're going to need to convert our seconds to minutes by dividing by 60, and I'll show you how that works. So Maurice's heart beats 25 times in 22 seconds. What's that heart rate? Well, it's a little bit more than once per second, so I'm expecting a little bit more than 60 times per minute, aren't I? But we're going to calculate this as 25 divided by the number of minutes. That's 22 over 60. And let's pull our calculator in here to do that. Right, we can see here. Does that fit? Yep. So we're going to type in 25 divided by 22 over 60. Right, there we go, just like that. Now press equals. Right, this little SD button here is going to convert that to a decimal for me. 68 point, pretty small. Now, these things are far less than exact. So I think to the nearest whole number will be great here. So let's say about 68 beats per minute is Maurice's heart rate. All good? Right, that's how we calculate heart rate. Now, Madonna's average heart rate is 75 beats per minute. So how many times will it beat in a day? Well, if it beats 75 times in a minute, then it will beat 75 times 60 times in an hour, right? That's how many times it's going to beat in an hour. And in a day, 24 hours. So 75 times 60 times 24. Let's pull up the calculator again if I can find it. Here it is. 75 times 60 times 24 gives us a grand total of 108,000 times in a day. Now that's pretty normal. 75 beats per minute. It's not terribly fast. So there you go. Your heart beats approximately 100,000 times a day, or at least Madonna's does. Also, how long is it going to take Madonna's heart to beat 1 million times? We get a rough idea there. Right, it's about 100,000 a day, so about 10 days. But we'll just do the calculation. So, oops, I've got the transition wrong there. Now, it beats 75 times per minute. So we're going to start by dividing the million by 75, right? And if I pull up my calculator and do that, 1 million, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, divided by 75, right, I get a bit over 13,000. So about 13,000 minutes is how long it's going to take. About 13,000 minutes. Now, that's not very helpful to me. How long is 13,000 minutes? Well, how about we take that figure, those transitions are annoying. How about we take that figure and divide it by 60. Oops, I've lost the 0. Divide that by 60, and that gives me 222 hours. It makes a little bit more sense, right? So about 222 hours, but I think I'd rather know how many days that is. 200 hours is still a bit of an abstract figure really to me. So let's divide that by 24 as well. Divide it by 24 and I get a bit over 9 days. Okay, so let's say about 9 days, right? So Madonna's heart will beat 1 million times in about 9 days. 1 million times, that's a lot. Rightio. That's kind of it. Let's just run through those things we learned there. Heart rate's measured in beats per minute, right? And I can calculate that as the number of beats divided by the number of minutes. Easy as that. Rightio. Well, that's it for today. If you've got any questions about anything that was said in there, or any other questions for that matter, make sure you jot them down so you don't forget. Ask me in class. Okay, see you then.